Hello everyone, my name is Casey and this is my Supernova guide for the Outer Worlds, which is for completing the game on Supernova difficulty, which just means beat the main storyline on Supernova. There's really two ways about going about this. You're either going to do on your first playthrough, hate yourself the entire time, but be too stubborn to just make a second playthrough of it and speedrun through it, like me, or you can do the smart thing and just do a second run through of the game on Supernova. That way you know everything there is about the main quests and stuff. Or you could do the first option and be like me and hate yourself the entire time. But also, it's a fun challenge you can do. I don't recommend it. It's not worth it at all. Getting majority of the trophies on Supernova, it's way easier just to do a second run through and speed run through the main quests instead. Either way, this guide will help you in retrospect. That sounds smarter in my head. Now I just look like a fool. But no. So a couple of other things I'll mention. You only can save on your ship. I mean, the game will autosave occasionally while you're playing through it on Supernova. Occasionally will autosave. It is so in and far between that honestly, you're just going to be fast traveling your ship a lot, which, by the way, you only can fast travel to your ship on Supernova. Yeah, that's gonna just be awful the entire time. I'm gonna get into combat later, but this is how I kind of think you should build your character. So I'm not gonna tell you like what build to do necessarily if you want to, use ranged weapons or close up and punch people in the face or smack them with a sword or something, or hammer, or wrench. I don't know, whatever fighting style you want to do, whatever combat you want to do, it's up to you. But when it comes to your attributes and stuff, you definitely want to have charm and a good temperament, also intelligence and perception. There's a trophy for skipping the hope into the sun, which makes you have to be dumb for that. I'll explain more of that later, but you can have a pretty good intelligence for that, or average. It's not going to hurt you because there's things in the game that can lower your attributes, and that comes into play later. But for now, the thing that you want to get up as fast as possible is your dialogue. You're going to need your dialogue really, really high for later on, and it's best to just start from the get-go. Pick cashier. It'll help you persuade people not to fight you, which is going to be a big thing. You can talk your way out of most fights by lying to them, or intimidating them, or persuading them to just move on, go fuck off somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you can really get away with having your dialogue up from the beginning, and it's also going to lower your store prices, because you're going to want to buy water a lot, and just stuff that'll hydrate you, and keep you fed. Also sleep a lot. You only can sleep on your ship, by the way, so make sure to sleep a lot. The other side of it too is your companions. So I mainly went with Parvati and Sam, and that's kind of about it. I mean, I did use Vicar Max occasionally, mainly because their special abilities are really, really fucking good. Like, seriously, they're insane, and they'll help you out a lot of fights, mainly because, not that they stun enemies, but they incapacitate them in the way that they'll be on the ground, just lying there. So it gives you kind of a breather, and you can heal and stuff. I definitely recommend having their distance on close, and their weapon to be ranged. Now Sam, long range is good. Have them set to defensive, that way they don't fight. Because on Supernova, once your companions die in a fight, they're dead for the rest of the playthrough. Seriously, you don't get them back. They don't come back up like other difficulties. Now, when they're dead, they're dead. You're dead, you're dead. So a big thing with combat on Supernova is definitely fight or flight. Pick your battles. Seriously, you will get your ass kicked a lot on Monarch when you're a lower level, so it's best to have your companions with you, and also having it so they generate less of a threat, so mainly the enemies are targeting after you. You also will come close to death. I almost died there, which would have set me back. I don't remember exactly how far it would have set me back, but I saved a lot, so it kind of helped me out a bit. But have them just go in and attack and use their special abilities as much as you possibly can, and increase their strength of them, because they do a lot of damage, and they'll just help you win battles a lot. Seriously, like, it's insane how much of a turnaround, if you're losing a fight and getting your ass kicked, how amazing their abilities will be. Also, upgrade your weapons. Also, upgrade your companions' weapons. You can't upgrade Sam's weapons. That just progressively gets higher leveled when he levels up. But say you have Parvati with you, upgrade her hammer, upgrade her pistol, give her better weapons in general. Just keep on upgrading your weapons. If it gets to the point where it costs like 1,000 bits to upgrade, either get a new weapon or just hold off until you have lots of bits. Honestly, it's not worth upgrading them for 1,000 bits. It's not worth it. As soon as it gets to that point, just stop. Find a new weapon that'll be better. Just because the level 15 weapon that you leveled up to 15 does 140 damage doesn't mean that level 20 that has 140 is gonna, be worse, because you can upgrade that one to even more damage than level 15. You also can only upgrade, I believe, up to 5 levels above your current level. So now we're going to the Hope. I definitely recommend saving when you're on the Hope if you want to get this trophy on your first playthrough of the game. It's actually not that bad on Supernova. It's pretty easy, and you just want to lower your intelligence. There's certain things that can lower your intelligence. You can find them at vending machines. Just look for lowers mind attributes, and then take one every like 5 to 10 seconds or so, and then it'll make you dumb, because you need to do the dumb option. Or don't. Honestly, it's kind of up to you on how you want to get that trophy. Again, it's easy on Supernova. I'm just recommending getting it out of the way. And yeah, so now we're at the part where the board has captured Phineas. This part kicked my ass real hard, 4 times. It took me 5 attempts to get past this. Mainly because there's one enemy. Oh yeah, look at her running away. That's her, by the way, the one that kicked my ass all the time. She has a flamethrower launcher thing that does electricity. Anyway, it just kicked my ass and completely took away my health. And my the dignity. No, that's not it. Self-esteem? Yeah, I really lowered my self-esteem and my ability. Just took away my confidence. Yeah, it blasted my confidence away. That's the word I'm looking for, not that other shit. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, so before I mentioned combat about fight or flight, this is kind of avoidable in a way if the board doesn't hate you. At this point in the game, I had a 100 negative reputation with the board. I killed them a lot. Yeah, I'm bad. So I definitely recommend not having a large amount of hate towards you for each of the factions. Be liked. It could be neutral. Just don't be hated and kill on sight for them. Also, again, companion abilities. Use them at your will. It's gonna help you. It's gonna benefit you a lot. So before you go to Tartarus, that's the end all. That's the end game right there. And get as many trophies as you want. Level up more. Get as much adrenaline as you can, so you can heal as much as you can. At that point, definitely recommend having a UDL thing for your hollow disguise. That way you can just walk through the prison with ease. Also, at this point, you're going to want to have your Persuade at around 90 and your Lie Intimidate at 100. That'll make the best of both worlds for you. Honestly, you probably don't have to have your Lie at 100. Intimidate for sure, have it at 100. Also have Sam with you. That way you get a plus 10 from him for Intimidate, which is going to help you a lot. That way you don't have to constantly put points in Intimidation, Because if you get to 50, you can start leveling up things yourself. Also, you can upgrade your armor to have it so all your dialogue options go up, which will also be really good. That's kind of the perks I had that helped me out a lot. Also, again, get as much as you possibly can done if you want to. Again, if this is your speed run, then just go for it. Don't hold back. Just go for it. I mean, I should have said this earlier, but this definitely goes into the last area. If you don't have a UDL disguise for your hollow disguise, whatever it's called, the name escapes me, I'm sorry. Make sure to have a UDL, because you can run through the whole prison without having to fight anybody. It also helps when your dialogue is up too, so you can talk your way out of people being dicks and trying to attack you and stuff. And yeah, that's kind of that's the first statement I want to make. The other is kind of about before. Make sure your weapons and your armor are at max, quality for the most part. I'd say as soon as it gets past 80%, go repair it. You know what I mean? Also, do it yourself. Don't get someone else to repair it for you. Do it yourself. Be independent and stuff. Be cool. So going into this last area, you're gonna want your Intimidate to be at 100 and your Persuade at 100, and your Lie could be 100 if you want to. Obviously, just having your dialogue skills as high as they possibly could will definitely help. If you have Sam in your party, you can have your Intimidate plus 10 with him. That way you don't have to constantly be upgrading your Intimidate skill. You can, focus on your science or your engineering or medical or something. You focus on something else. You don't have to constantly upgrade that. It also helps if your armor has has it so you can upgrade your dialogue via that. The other side of this last fight is definitely making sure to have your food, your water, and your sleep maxed. So when you're going through this game, having it like level 1 lower is like alright. Having level 1, dehydration stuff is kind of okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to affect you that much. The moment it goes to level 2 and level 3 and it just keeps on adding up, that's when shit gets real hard. you're going to want to make sure to keep on eating and drinking. I should mention this earlier in the guide, but at this point, when it comes to this last battle in particular, you're going to want your dialogue options to have as high as they possibly could be. That way you don't have to fight her, you don't have to fight anybody, you can just talk it out. Which is honestly the biggest tip I have for Supernova, is just talking every fight out. Don't have to constantly be in combat the entire time, make it easier on yourself. It's not necessarily being a pacifist, it's just knowing when to fight. There's times where it's like, when you're level 10, there's a bunch of level 14s and 15s there. Don't fight them, you know what I mean? Just talk your way out of it, or hide, sneak. You don't have to upgrade your sneak constantly. Having it up a little bit is going to help, but at the same time, you know, like, don't constantly think you have to fight every single scenario, you know, you can just talk your way out of things, or just not confrontate anyone. That's a word, right? I don't think it's a word. It sounds like a word. It sounds real stupid, though. It sounds smart in my head, and I'm just like, that's stupid. But the reason I'm showing you this part of the endgame is to kind of show you the speech that it took for me. Obviously, I didn't have my science at 90, so I had to skip that, but there's a way around it, so you still don't have to fight her. And yeah, it's just nice not having to fight on Supernova. That's one of the biggest things ever. Also, I stayed Phoenix's friend the entire time. You don't have to, necessarily. Obviously, you can still play the game to how you want to play it. That's my biggest thing. That's why I didn't suggest being a ranged fighter or a melee fighter. That's kind of up to you on how you want to upgrade that. Prioritize upgrading that. If you want to use energy weapon, obviously upgrade your science, that way you do more damage with it. Then use the perk that will upgrade your science weapons damage and stuff. That's going to help you the most. Also, for the last time, make sure to eat and drink and sleep. Having level 1 of dehydration or sleep deprivation or starvation is alright. It's not going to lower your stats too much, but you're going to want to make sure that you stay hydrated, that you stay, you know, the opposite of hungry, because the word escapes me and I feel real stupid. But, you know, I'm all about feeling stupid and stuff. But, yeah. In summary, this game's Supernova difficulty isn't that hard. It kind of sucks when your companion permanently dies. I reload saves a lot to get them alive still, because again, I did this on my first playthrough. I don't recommend doing it on your first playthrough. It's really stupid. It's way easier doing it on your second run and just speedrunning through it all, rather than hating yourself the entire time and just wanting to just not play the game. I procrastinate this game a lot because of Supernova difficulty, but at the same time it is a fun challenge, which I'm happy I, you know, went through with and stuff. But yeah, so I guess that is about it. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this guide was long and I kind of was all over the place. Hopefully you found it helpful, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, share it with a friend, and I wish you the best of luck for your Supernova playthrough. Honestly, again, it's not that bad. I have complete and utter faith in you and your ability to do it, because I know you will. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please have a fantastic day. Take care.